Howdy howdy, my name is Lily from MakeCraftGame, and today I'm doing an unboxing of Season 3 and 4 of Death May Die. I've had Season 1 and 2 for a while, and I've been very excited for this one to come in because I wanted to see the new campaigns and new characters, but there were some shipping issues. But anyway, it's here now, and I'm very excited to see what's inside this box and how many board game boxes we have inside this giant cardboard box. So let's get into it. So the very first thing we have here is the Unknowable Box. It has 28 new investigators, a bunch of minis, and some lost episodes. And I'm going to put a kind of thing at the beginning of this. I am not opening any of the episode boxes. I'll show off the box itself and the back of the boxes, but I'm not going to open them because I like the surprise and I don't want to ruin anything for me. So, okay. We've got our little cute Animal Allies pack, which I honestly completely forgot about, so I'm excited to see those. We have the old one, Ithiqua the Wind Waker. She seems pretty cool. One thing I love about Death May Die is the episodes can mix with any Elder one, so you can really have a unique experience to each play by mixing and matching other things. Alright, this is the Season 4 expansion, and they even have some patient medical files attached right to the type of the box. That's pretty fun. Yeah, and this is going to be one of the core season boxes. Looks like we've got some investigators, as well as some elder ones, and of course, some episodes. Oh boy. Today's going to be a workout. I can already feel it. And last but not least, we have the Fear of the Unknown box. This is effectively Season 3, because this is the name of the Kickstarter was Fear of the Unknown, so I brought it out last. So this one, again, has a lot of figurines, new investigators, and new episodes. So we're going to have a lot of fun, because there's a lot of stuff here. Alright, so because Fear of the Unknown is the name of the Kickstarter, I figured I should start with the Fear of the Unknown box. So, let's see if there's a good space for me to open it. There we go. Need a little help. So the back of the box actually was a insert page. This is telling you kind of everything that there is in the box, but the actual back of the box looks pretty much the same. I'm very curious to why they did that. I don't know, so if anyone has an idea, please tell me. This is kind of confusing, but I digress. All right, so let's open this bad boy up. Free come on content. We can just get rid of that. All right, get through Fear of the Unknown. You have your core rule book. I'm pretty sure this is almost, some of the art's actually a bit different, but it's very similar to the rule book that came in Season 1. All right. Now we have our characters. Okay. Oh, he looks delightful. We got Jacob Peters. Learning how to heal also teaches us how to harm the bad guys, that is. Agatha May. Sandra Atkinson, Stella Fontaine, Sally Withers. Okay, Sally Withers' thing is hilarious. Big smile, Mr. Monster. Wow, too many teeth. I like it. Yu Kong, Ruby Weber, Leon Barnes, Mike Kozlov, and Julian Dulick. Why is this poor child fighting? I want to know more. Each character card has obviously their character image, name, and tagline, a little bit of background about them, and then on the other side we have your turns. This is going to be the same for every investigator. You have your insanity track at the top, also the same for every investigator. On the bottom you'll have your health and stamina. I think it's stamina. I'm not actually, yeah, stamina. And then you'll have a special skill and then 2 out of 6 common skills. I'm not going to go too much into the characters during the unboxing because I have an article on my channel and I've actually done a lot of work to have a kind of comprehensive character compendium in one place. So check out the link in the description below. And yeah, that's where you're going to find more about the characters and all of that. The reason I built that was because I think at this point there's over 100 characters, and giving someone a stack of 100 characters is really overwhelming. Or at least it is for the people I play with, and for me. So I thought kind of creating helpful cheat sheets of like, what do you want to do? What do you kind of want to play type things was a really good way to narrow it down. Because if you are looking at these back 2 traits and you're saying, I want someone with brawling and toughness, then you're like, maybe I'll pick Mike. But I might not pick Leon because that's not the 2 skills he has. So that's what that's about. Got our characters. We've got our end of turn unknown monster. Okay. So this is the end of turn effects, and then it has an unknown monster. So I don't actually recognize this. So this is the board I'm used to seeing. Normally you have your Elder One minions, your episode monsters, but it looks like we could add 2 unknown monsters into the game, which is fascinating, and I'm really curious to see how that works out. I do appreciate this end of turn walkthrough. It's the same as it was in the base game, but it's nice to just have it somewhere on the table because I know there's definitely been times where we have forgotten some of those steps. All right. I'm gonna put, these are the map tiles. I'm gonna put them aside for a second. And we're gonna go down here. All right, Azathoth is one of my favorite Elder Gods, and I'm very excited to see him in one of the other campaigns that I play with him. He's very much if he's woken up, you're out of luck. And so I am very excited to see how they portray him, because obviously you don't want to make it too hard, but it's still going to be hard. Also, disclaimer for people who have never played Death May Die, and if this is your first kind of introduction to it, this game is hard, and you will most likely, you can win, and I promise you that, but not always. And honestly, maybe expect more losses than wins. It's a hard game, but you can modulate the difficulty up or down depending on how you want to play. So I'm skipping past all of the cards because I just want to see the figurine. Yeah, there's tape on the side here. He's sideways. Oh my gosh, look at him. He is gorgeous. So far, we have yet to paint our figurines, but I could see how they could be gorgeous painted, but I also really appreciate how gorgeous they are unpainted as well. And then it looks like under him, you guys are also held together with tape. So we have our Azathoth minions as well underneath here. So his like special Elder One little guys. Oh, maybe not so little. surprisingly difficult to get out of this box. Whoops. Well, I got them out of the box. Didn't get the box out of the box, but I got them out of the box. Be really aware of where the tape is on these. You don't want to think you're opening something and then realizing it's tape shut. Oh my god, these guys have little trumpets! Oh, this is adorable. I know that most people wouldn't use that word for a monster, but they're really freaking cute. They're called the Dancer of Azathoth. Oh my god, yes. That is... Oh, I love that. Okay, so let us open up some of the Azathoth cards. I will admit, I really do appreciate it when manufacturers do that like ribbon cut thing instead of just having a tight package, but I also, because I have a manufacturing background, understand why they wouldn't do that. It's a lot more difficult and it costs, you're using like a specialty machine and that's not necessarily something you want to pay extra for as a consumer because that's where the costs are going to come to. Okay, so these are the cards that go into the Mythos deck. These cards will summon you some monsters of Azathoth. I'm not exactly sure what some of these specialty symbols are, but I know that they do seem pretty interesting. They called Azathoth the blind idiot god. Oh no! I love it. And Nuclear Chaos. Okay, so those are our Mythos cards that will get shuffled into our Mythos deck specifically for the monster. In the episodes, there are also, maybe I'll open one episode to kind of show what a general episode looks like. There are general things. So we've got our Minions of Azathoth cards. We have our Cultists. So Azathoth has special cultists of the Demon Sultan. So we got kind of a more Middle Eastern-y vibe. And then we have our Dancer of Azathoth, which has a horn, and I love them. Look at these guys. So stinking cute. I'm curious to see if this general cultist will be in here, or if it's going to be kind of more just using the standard cultists that come with the games. So that's going to be exciting to look at as well. And then I'm not going to show these cards off because sometimes it's really fun to not know how many stages there are to a monster. So I don't want to spoil it for anybody who doesn't want to know the stages. And these are stages of Azathoth, and this is basically what you have to go through to kill him. And it's going to be a lot. So that is also very exciting. Oh no, that was not part of this box. Okay. So putting this back together seems like it's gonna be a time. Okay. Let's just go with the box itself. I'm gonna go on top of there. Azathoth gets laid to rest. And then I will say all of these boxes are very thoughtfully designed. They definitely have like intended spaces, which I appreciate. Dances of Azathoth, and then obviously our Azathoth. Let's see on a Minions card. Yeah, okay, we got the Minions in here as well. I'm gonna put this actually face down. And that is our first Elder God to come in Fear of the Unknown. Our second one. Oh gosh, how do you say that? Shathuga? If somebody knows how to say that, let me know. I'm gonna go with the Shathuga for now. If I'm wrong, I apologize for being wrong. Ooh, he's got eye tokens. All-seeing, I see. We've got our cards, and just like before, I'm gonna go straight for the figurines. Okay, he only has one layer of figurines. So we'll go ahead and take this out. I normally wouldn't do this, but the tape is just really difficult to deal with when it's inside of the thing, so the first time he comes out. All right. Wow, he is weird looking. I like him. We've got, I'm not sure how many limbs he has. I see like, we've got like kind of like talon feet at the bottom here. And then like legs, and then there's like an arm back here. But then there's also these giant arms here. It looks like we got at least 8 limbs. And look at that tongue. The tongue is precious. I don't know why, but I see elder gods and I think this is an adorable, precious thing. And I highly question my sanity sometimes because of that. And then his little buddies are, honestly, they kind of look like gelatinous blobs. Got teeth. Lots of teeth here. But the rest of it's just kind of, well, that's fun. Okay. So this is interesting. We don't really have a place for all these eye tokens like we did in the last box, because this seems pretty much set down. Maybe I'll just put them on top of everything. But first, let us go through the, actually, yeah, no, let's start with the cards. God forgive me for I fucking sinned. All right. So we've got our Mythos cards. It looks like we have the same kind of cultists that we saw in Azathoth's box as well. Which is very, very interesting. And then the Amorphous Scion is our little buddy. Okay. Oh boy, this guy's giving me trouble. Don't give me trouble. There we go. We're just gonna slide this out of here. There we go. Fun to see. Okay, so we've got our cultists, which is our cultists of Nakai, and then we have our lovely amorphous scions that look horrifying. I love them. Okay, and then again we have our Shathuga stage cards, which I'm not going to show off because I like keeping that a secret for me. And then finally, we have all of our eye tokens. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a better way to store this later, but we're going to just do this for now. I should have done this first. Oh well. Oh, well, it ends well. All right. We'll save the episode boxes for a second. So first we have, what are these? Okay. These look like items that seem blessed or cursed depending on which side they are on. Although I'm not sure how the Necronomicon could ever actually be not cursed, but hey, we'll find out. So this is a new component to Season 3. Have not seen that before, so that's exciting. All right, and here are our patient medical files. Now these are like character weaknesses, but you get a new one depending on the character you're playing, or you get a new one for every time you play, really. So it's always randomized. Well, we've always played it randomized. And so this, again, is just another variable component to add to the game. And now, the thing I'm the most curious about. So these are something I have no idea, but they look pretty fun. Okay, we got our Ghasts, Serpent Man, Gug, Yayathon, Fisher from the Outside, Dole, Unknowable, Fire Vampire, classic. Byaku's also a classic. Ghoul, classic. Chthonic Entity, Deep One. Hunting Horror is also a classic. Shgoth. Choo Choo! I'm calling this one a Choo Choo. Elder Thing. Night Gaunt. Flying Popple. Star Vampire. Bakrog. Hounds of Tindalos. Yug. And our Dimensional Shambler. How many figures are in this box? If there are all of these figures in this box, I will be honestly surprised. I know some of them that I listed off, like the Fire Vampire. There was a couple other ones within that vicinity, like the Night Hoarder or the Night Gaunt. These were all in season 1, so I'm curious if they're just kind of reusing those components. But, all right, we're gonna remove this whole thing because it's all taped together, and I know it's gonna be a pain to do this separately. So we're just gonna push this box to the side for a second and focus on this. Okay, let's get this tape off here. Be careful. This plastic is a little thin, so do be careful when you're taking the tape off to not rip it like I just did. It won't be too bad, but it's just something to kind of keep in mind per se. Okay, we're gonna pause there. Let's take you guys off and let's see what's in this top layer. All right, so we have 5. Ooh. So these are player colors. These are colors that attach to the base of your investigator figurine, so you can know who's playing what. And then these are the pieces that go along with it. So they're all the same piece, but black is a terrible color. Let's do red. They're like little tentacly things that you use to keep track on those on the investigator boards. And the reason I went ooh is because some of these colors are new. I don't remember brown, white, or black being in the original game, and I couldn't tell you if red or yellow were actually in the original game or not. I'd have to check, but it's very cool to see that. We have our Mythos dice. Now we've got 2 types of dice here. There's the black and the green dice. The black die is the like common, more generic, and I think just all around typically worse die. And then the green die is the better one. Well, I say better. So this symbol here gives you insanity, and the more insane you go in this game, the more powerful you get. But if you go too insane, you die. So it's like it's a trade-off, really. And I'm very excited to have more dice because I know at some points in the game we're rolling like 10 or 15 dice, and I'm just like, and we end up re-rolling dice, so it's nice to have more. Okay, this guy is fucking cool. I'm sorry for swearing, but I cannot help it. I like the way this man looks. I'm going to do my best to tell you what is what, but you'll have to bear with me for that one. All right, so we're starting here with the Unknowable. He is one of the coolest designs I've seen on a small monster, honestly. I'm very excited for that. Here, this here is our Serpent Man. You can see he's pretty close to that. There we go. There's the matching pose. So that's pretty fun. I didn't actually do that for the Unknowable, so let me pull him out and do that for him too. So you can see kind of next to the card and the creature. Okay. Yeah. All right, and then we have our Fisher from the outside. Matches up to his card pretty well. There we go. It is very nice. These figures do match the art fairly well, so really you just have to look for that to find the one you're looking for. All right, and that is all the monsters in this first layer. Now coming down to our second layer. Ooh! All right, so I'm excited because these are, red pieces are cultists. And cultists, honestly, they're unique, but they don't actually matter. The uniqueness doesn't really matter. So it is nice to see that we just have some more options to choose from. These look very much like the masked cultists that we were seeing in the Elder One boxes, so that's pretty exciting. Our brown pieces are our investigators. Let's see if I can name them all. So first we've got Julian. He looks pretty similar. Again, why is a small child here? Jacob and his hacksaw. I'm very curious about Jacob. He seems pretty fun. We've got Agatha May. Look at her in that gun. She is wild. Okay, Sandra. Got her hammer. We've got Stella with her beaker. Sally with her med kit, and I'm not exactly sure what that is in her right hand. Or her left hand. If anybody knows, let me know, because I don't know what that item is. But. Hugh Kong. He's got a very interesting look to him. I love the pants. One thing this game does well is having investigators of all ages. Except sometimes I do wonder why these children are here. Ruth Weber. Yeah, that's Leo with his lay. And finally, Mike. So, they are very cool. One thing that's kind of funny about Death May Die is because you have these player pieces that you will stack to the bottom of the characters, so just gonna go ahead and, so look, that's how I know this is my character. It kind of means you don't have to use your character's figure because you know which one's you based off of color, but obviously I prefer to use the figures because then it feels like you're matching everything. Okay, and now for the hard part of getting the tape off the box. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put this down so I can see what the fuck I'm doing on this side. So I really need to get a new camera because mine turns off at random points and I don't notice it, and then I record a bunch of stuff with no video. So for the next section or so, I already took everything out of the plastic, but I will still go through the boxes and look at all the components again because I can look at these all day. So getting back into it, we have our Ghast. He is very creepy. There's 5 of them too, which always makes me a little bit apprehensive. We've got Gyayathon. He's got quite the tongue. The humanoid faces always, I think, are the creepiest thing to me. We have our Gugs here. I love the way his eyes, I love his sideways smile. I think that's really cool. I've got the teeth kind of running this way. And then last but not least, we have our Dole. He is a big boy. Big scary boy with sharp teeth and also a forked tongue. Wild. So, a lot of fun there. That is this box. Now I was going to punch out the, oopsie. I need those to be up. I was going to punch out the player boards, but I already did that. So we'll just go ahead and put them back in and I will show you everything that came out of that. I am going to actually, once I get this on, I'm going to open this back up. So the game comes with a bunch of smaller tokens, so I'm going to put them in here just for safekeeping. So we have fire tokens. Stuff gets lit on fire, unsurprising. We have, those are all fire tokens? Yes. Okay. We have our summoning portals to summon monsters from the beyond. We have stairs and tunnel connectors to connect areas and locations that maybe aren't connected directly. You have your starting area. It's where you start on the map. Now these, I don't know what they are, but they're very cool. They have little question marks, but then they have the portals and the starting player on the other side. So it looks like these get kind of shuffled up and you don't know where what is, which I think is really cool. And I'm very curious to see. We have our toughness, arcane mastery, swiftness, marksman, brawling, and stealth tiles. Now these are for it, like there are certain things in the episodes that will give you one level of this ability. And if you do not already have this ability, you take these tokens to kind of show that it's something you're able to do. Those are always very strong when you can get that. All right. Whoopsie. That is good enough there. Now let us get all of these cards back. I am definitely going to need to come up with, actually I'm going to take these out because I think they're causing it to not push this properly. Yeah, there we go. I definitely am going to need to find, because we now have so many of these, I am very much looking into a better way to store everything. So if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. Not, sometime in the future, you will see me back with all of that. So put the unknown monsters. We're gonna just put these tokens in this little thing. This is our kind of track marker. Put back our characters. Actually, this little channel here is quite nice for things. I'm gonna see if any of the map tiles fit it. So, game came with several map tiles. These are all listed in order. And let's see. Oh gosh, no, that is too small for any of them, so this plan is not going to work. So yeah, we'll just go back to spreading these guys out on top of these. As you can see, once the map tiles get involved, the storage gets a little messy, so I'm definitely gonna have to think of some solutions when it comes to this. They come in all shapes and sizes. This one's probably one of my favorites. Okay. A little messy, but we got it back in all the same. That is our Fear of the Unknown box. Now, the next box we're gonna do is Season 4, and you'll notice the plastic is off because I didn't notice my camera shut off on me. Let's go ahead and open her up. So we've got our rule book. This is a lot shorter than the Season 3 rulebook because these are just additional rules for this box only. Season 4 is a true expansion, and so you do need either Seasons 1 or 3, the Fear of the Unknown, or just like the original box, because it does not have those common core components. It does come with the board modifier, so if you have just Season 1 and Season 4, you can still run with that. Now we have our player tiles. Again, I've already punched these out of the chipboard. They came in, I think, 2 or 3 pieces of chipboard at the top. So that's interesting. These are identical. Not actually. very close to identical on that side. I love this. This is probably one of my favorites. I really love just straight out circles or semicircles. Got those. We got our players, which I'm going to talk about them when we actually talk about these guys. And here we go. We've got so many boards, but it's exciting. All right, so our main baddie is Nethrotep. It's a mouthful. She is very fun. She, he, they. So she did come with, I keep calling her she, I really gotta stop that. They did come with fire. So it does seem like fire is a core component of this one, of this Elder God. I do know that fire is, I don't believe fire is a limited component, so that's why they want to give you more, because they want as much fire as possible. All right, so I'm gonna do this a little bit in reverse order and talk about the minions first. We have our Moonbeast. I love the way his like tentacles fall down. I think that's super fun. It just seems like a slow lumberer. Now, I will talk about 2 stages of Nethrotep because they transform in the middle of it. So this is Nethrotep's first form. Very human. Got like a head, face, hands, arms, legs, like very much a humanoid. Not too much, honestly, even that much of an Elder God. But we'll go to stage 2, and our friend has grown. I really adore this. I love the wings. It reminds me of Valhazak from Monster Hunter. But the body is definitely a unique to itself. The way it has that curve, the spines, the flames you can see coming from its head, or what I think is its head. It's just really intricately woven, and I really adore this figure. It's probably one of my favorites, I think, from this game. But I'm also a sucker for dragons, so that doesn't help. And then, of course, we have the Mythos deck cards that come with this specific Elder God. Okay. So that is those. I'll go ahead and put this back down. All right, and so we've got 6 episodes here, and we've got our monsters and characters. Now this one only has 2 levels for the monsters. Just double checking to make sure I wasn't crazy. So there's 2 levels on each of these different components. So for this one, we have all of the monsters in this box, all the unknown monster cards are for the monsters in this box. There's nothing outside of this box. So we'll start with the Ancient One, because look at him. He's gorgeous. I really love the like priestly vibe, but like Cthulhu priest. This is what I imagine priests look like in like any Ancient One's realm. He's an Ancient One himself. Then we have our Sand Dwellers. They're little mischievous ratmen, almost. They have such an interesting face because it doesn't really have that classic rat face, but it also feels very rat-like. So that's pretty, I think it's pretty neat. And then we have the strangely named albino penguin. Now this is not like any penguin I've ever seen. Like that tongue, terrifying. But he's a penguin nonetheless. Walk. So this one's a little bit more interesting for me because it just doesn't necessarily fit like what I would naturally think of an MO for an albino penguin, but hey, excitement. All right, so here we have our 6 characters. So we'll start with Bruno Vitali. He's got a knife in one hand and a broken glass bottle in the other. Very impromptu weapon style. Very, definitely seems a bit more on the rugged and tattered side. We have Gary West, who came with some dynamite, and I don't feel like this is going to end well. But, hey, Gary West does what Gary West does. We've got Anika Biko, again, another kind of younger investigator. I still question who let these children fight, but she looks like kind of more student-like. We have our older gentleman, John Fernsby. We have Sylvia Doyle, who seems kind of more righteous. She seems kind of like church vibey to me, which is weird because she's not wearing like any church colors per se. But maybe that's just like the spell book and the hood. And then we have Rosaria Guerrero, and damn is she hot. No, sorry. She definitely seems like the survive at all costs. I really like her design. Not gonna lie about that one. Okay, and then in here, again, these are some of the tokens. I don't know what these tokens are for. These, like, mind tokens. So that's something I'm going to be very curious. Now, some of the investigators come with components themselves. So I'm assuming our book lady has books. Actually, I guess the student could have books too. There are 2 options for the books. But Gary West is definitely the one with the dynamite. And then I think that's really it for the player pieces. And then we have, again, these like kind of question mark tiles that came in season 3. I think this is just to basically have it to add to season 1 if you do not have season 3, but also have season 4. And lastly, we've got our monsters up here. Let's go ahead and do the bottom ones first, because they are big boys. So we've got our white polypus thing. It's got polyps. It's kind of white and a bit green, and it's definitely a thing. We don't really know what this is. There's not really like a face on it. There's not really like eyes. It just has polyps, which is really fun and kind of gross. How are you? Okay. Then we have the monstrous frog. Look at that guy's tongue. He got a big tongue. Yeah, I really like this design. It's kind of creepy, but it's a lot of fun. A bit reptilian. Like, it almost feels like a lizard, but like with the face of a frog. It's like if a lizard and a frog got fused together and became demonic. Which, always love some creepy. Then we have our Spiders of Lang. I do not like these. They creep me out. At first I thought they weren't very spidery, but then I noticed they very much are. So we've got our legs on the sides here. The face is down here, and this up here is its butt. And so it's very much a spider, and I don't like them. They scam me. And last but definitely not least, we have our Man of Lang. This is very much a kind of impish creature, a little goat-like, a little man-like. Yeah, like evil Mr. Tumnus. So, classics. And that is, let's go ahead and put this back on because we did get some more generic Mythos cards. These are for our unknown monsters. We've got some more patient files. Now, one thing that I missed, which is really sad, was that there was a little packet of files taped to the outside of this box that contained 2 relics and a medical patient file. So, but that's like a little bonus. And then we have some more relics. And that is pretty much season 4. Now these fit kind of nicely in there, so I definitely am trying to, again, utilize the space as best I can, but this is definitely something that's going to need a better long-term solution than what I am doing. But it still technically works, so I shouldn't knock it when it's working-ish. Oh, that's what I did, right? Okay, so I'll put these here. And we're gonna swap these. Yeah, there we go. There we go, there we go. Have our turn and our, and that is season 4. Again, this is one that you will need either season 1 or 3 to play. See, it is a true expansion. All right. And now we actually have true new stuff. So this is our Animal Allies box here, and I don't know what this is, honestly. I forgot about it. I remember looking at it and then promptly no memory whatsoever. So let's get into it and see what this is. This box is on the lighter side, so I'm very curious how that's gonna play out. Okay, so this is definitely not like a nicer box because it doesn't really have like a lid. It's just one of the that ones. Okay. So because these are animal allies, I know our investigators are typically brown to signify that they're investigators, gray are monsters, and then red is cultists. These are like a pinkish hue almost. I think it's trying to be kind of close to brown, but not exactly brown. Okay, we have our cards. Now this, okay, so these are our player aids. So on these ones, we've got a player aid for all of the animal allies here, and it has setup on the other side for how to set up all the animals. It does have it for each one, so you can hand it out to every player, but, oh, am I doing this upside down? So it does have it for every player, but it is, but those aren't actually the animal cards. Now we have 2 versions of everybody. We have the evil version and the not so evil version. So first is Midna the cat, who seems pretty, like, sphinxy. But on the other side, we have a haunted Midna. I'm a little sad that her haunted version doesn't have like the smoke coming out of its mouth. You can't really see it on the camera, but that would have been cool. And then we have Luna the Hound. He looks like a good boy. She looks like a good boy. And then Accursed Luna. Honestly, I think I flipped them. So I think this is Luna and this is the accursed one. There is not that much difference between the two for me to tell. Next we have Titus the Chimp. Very fun. And then on the other side we have a Raving Titus. Now these are also considered relics, which are the same as the items that I saw in some of the other boxes. So I'm assuming it's going to play very similarly to that. Celeste the Snake. That is a great name for a snake. Again, cannot tell very well the difference between the cursed and not accursed versions, but this looks like the not accursed version. And then this is the accursed version because its mouth is open. That's really my biggest tell. And last but not least, we have Percy the Owl. I feel it's kind of on the nose to name an owl Percy, but well, just me. And on the back, we have Possessed Percy. Very scary. And so that is our Animal Allies box. Very nice, short, and sweet. No? This way. Oh! We also actually do have a full book on the inside for the figure setup, transforming, movement, and all of that other stuff. So it's gonna be cool to see how those play out. Alright, so this is Ithiqua, the Wind Waker. I'm excited to see what's inside this box. Now she is, again, What is with the back in the back? I just don't get it. Someone please explain to me. This is, again, just very similar to the Ancient One boxes that are in the season boxes, although I think this is a little less nice, but hey, we got an extra Ancient God. I should not be complaining. I mean, I'm going to complain about getting this a year late. It was supposed to be fulfilled in December of 2023. It is January of 2025. So I will complain about that one. But just because I got it late did not stop me from ordering seasons 5 and 6. So it's not like it mattered that much, apparently. Okay. So here we have Ithiqua's different stages and, of course, her minions. Definitely they've got their own unique cultist, and they have a Shantak. It's like almost like a horse, but instead of having arms, it's got wings. Wild. That's very wild. I like how they kind of, in the box, they like have like this nice flanking vibe. It doesn't really matter, but it's really fun. And then of course we have Ithiqua, the Waka, Wind Waka. Definitely very cool. So if you can see from the straight on, you can't really see a face because their face is to the side here. Very much got like a very strange like crane neck anatomy going, which I think is pretty neat. And so it is unfortunate that, yeah, they definitely, how do you fit in here? That feels about right. All right. Okay, nope, that does not feel right at all. What is happening? There we go. Okay, it was right. I just didn't push it farther enough in. We also have this lovely circular tile. This is the best punch board I've ever seen. It's tiny and tiny. I think that's pretty funny, actually. And then we have the Mythos cards that come in for this specific Elder one. What's really nice about these Mythos cards, and you can't really see it here, but at the bottom of them, they actually say what pack they're from, so you know how to separate them once you are done playing the game. I'll go ahead and put those here, put these on top, and that is our Ithiqua Elder one. Last and certainly not least is our Unknowable Box. I saved this for last because it is more of a add-on in general. It's kind of like a bonus box full of little fun surprises and characters. So. Okay. So we start with episode lore, which is actually kind of interesting. Skill clarifications and just other clarifications, it looks like. So we don't really have a rule book. Again, true expansion, you do need either seasons 1 or 3 to play. We have the most characters I've ever freaking seen. We're gonna get to those later. Ooh. All right, I found some relic cards here. We have some more unknown monsters. Looks like we got some monsters in this one as well. We have Discovery. This looks like it's a Discovery card that's specifically to a character, which is quite fascinating. We have looks like we have some characters, specific tokens, which we'll come back to. And then we have, so these are the lost episodes, 4, 5, 6, and 7. It looks like these are quite large boxes for lost episodes. I am going to assume that some of the monsters are in here from the unknown monster pack. Wild. Lost episodes 1, 2, and 3 are in the first Unspeakable box, which is also a lot of fun. Came with a lot of characters as well, though. So we're gonna go ahead and pull these. Okay, we got some monsters here actually. It looks like, and then we have Nug and Yeb for our elder one. So they come with a whole book. You have to choose either one of them. But, okay, so they both affect the game, but in different ways. So we've got Nug's influence and Yeb's influence. And it looks like I think they're both present, but again, best chipboard. Look at that. So fun. But that is interesting that they're like a pair, but you still have to choose between the two. I'm gonna actually move this aside so I can just do this on a clean surface. All right. Okay, so doop doop doop. Oh, this is fun. I think I know how this works and I'm here for it. Okay. Not plastic. I don't know how plastic works. There we go. All right, so we have Nug stage 1. I love his eyes. Look at that. So cool. That mouth is like everything. And then on the flip side, we've got Yeb. And he has got horns. How interesting. I feel like his face is actually a little bit different on the sculpture. Okay, no, I see it. I see it. The eyes are a little bit more difficult to make out on the sculpture because they're not as red as the picture, but that big eye is actually the top right eye, and once I kind of grounded it, I could see it pretty well. So, when you are playing Yeb, your minions are cultists and Nug, and when you're playing Nug, your minion is Yeb. I'm highly amused by this, and I love it. Like, I'm more amused than I probably should be. So, we're gonna go ahead. Okay, you sit the same either way, it looks like. What do you? No, it looks like you should be on this side. Okay. Go ahead and put that in there. And then we have the Mythos cards. If I can get them out of the plastic. And yeah, just our Nug and Yeb Mythos cards. So pretty classic step there. But yeah, this is a really cool Elder God. I'm very fascinated by this one. Very excited. Especially because they have their own like board that I was not expecting. So the plastic edges always get caught up on the box edges, so it can get a little bit awkward. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and start over here. Because I think it'll be easier to start with the monsters than the investigators, because there's less of them. There might be a similar number of figurines, but they're not all unique. ahead and open the Unknown Monsters. And so let's see what we can find here. First, we've got our Zogs. Oh, these things are horrifying. They look like gremlins. I'm not here for this. I really am not. And then we have the classic cats from Saturn. I love them, but I also just love cats. These ones are wonderful. I love the ears. They're very intense. We have our, oh, yeah, I definitely not say this. Yimbahai. Looks like we've got a third arm coming out of the back here. It's got two arms on the side, one on that side. Kind of reminds me of like a Trogdor arm. No, it's not supposed to, but yeah, that's pretty fun. It's definitely a little bit wild of a humanoid Kigger. Our Vormy, so he's got pretty big club, again, pretty humanoid, almost like dark elfish looking. Because we've got the pointed ears, but also like kind of more pallid skin. Then we have the inhabitants of the Nameless City. All right, these are kind of like goblin-y guys, but they got their spears, so they're prepared for fighting. We've got our Coleopteron. Yeah, no idea how to say that. It's almost bug-like in their anatomy here. We've got kind of very thin arms, we've got the horns, but they also have this very cool spear thingy that's does not come to a point. It's more circular, which is kind of interesting for a weapon choice, but very, very creepy looking. Then we have our Grokos. Got the lovely tongue, very much just like a kind of hound, but serpenty. All right, we do have some other unnamed monsters here. The Yithian Migo and Cult Masters. I don't remember which ones those come from, but I will have to look that up later. And now it is time to find investigators. So it looks like it's just, go ahead and put these guys aside and open this one up. It does look like there's only one level here for this, which kind of surprises me. I thought there was going to be two. But I mean, just looking at it, it's still a lot of investigators. All right, and now we're gonna play a game of Can I Find That Person? And we'll see if there's any particular order. I'm going to guess no, though. All right, so our first investigator here is Vanessa Ortiz. She's got her little bun and her teaching stick. And also the dagger behind her back, which I think is a fun little touch. It's interesting because this figurine actually has it facing up, whereas this one has it facing down. So there are some like slight discrepancies like that. Don Hayworth, where are you? Here you are. You have a machete gun. My favorite type of machete gun. Very much just kind of like looks like a rough and tumble type of dude. Ooh, Archie Ford is a pirate? Okay, he might not be a pirate, but he's definitely, yeah, it's definitely him. He's definitely a sailor. We've got our cutlass, and we have our pistol in the other hand, range stands, and that cute hat. I like the hat. Robert Gray, again, fancy mobster gentleman, it looks like. He seems pretty wild. And I'm just gonna do another shameless plug here. Remember to check out the link below for all of the characters in a more concise, put together manner. Or at least that's what I'm hoping to do. I hope you find it that way. So let's see. Where are you? I feel like I've gone blind. I legitimately cannot find this man. No, he's not a hat. He's a gentleman in a suit, but with a hat. Oh, here he is. He's on the other side. Silly me. All right, we've got Martin Horner from Tampa. He has book. Not really sure what else about that. We have Craig Adamson. He's kind of like the butler almost, with his like towel on one arm. And it's really impressive he can hold a shotgun with one hand. That's a new one. George Rodriguez. Someone came out of the kitchen dual-wielding knives. His outfit is extremely dirty. I don't know if you can kind of see that. It looks pretty white on the camera, but there's a lot of grime going on here, which is really fun. And then the knives are slightly bloody, but is that from fighting evil or from cooking? Who knows? We then have Anita Khalil. Here she is. Very matronly. She's also the one who had the discovery card. So she's got something fun going on here for her, but we'll have to figure that out when we play. Buck Hall, dual wielding guns. This seems, yeah, he's got that bowler hat. He's got that kind of rogue gentleman vibe going. We have Jim. A lot of these people have guns. There he is. Jim Cannon. He seems kind of more like the Southern gentleman with like a cowboy hat going. Michelle Hart and a cricket bat? So she's from Dover in the United Kingdom. So I'm assuming it's a cricket thing because that does not look like a baseball bat. But very intense. Tom Gilman. He seems like a gentleman. Again with the... It's a double-barreled shotgun in one hand. Maybe I don't understand how shotguns work. The arm cross, too, is a very unique pose. Eve Blanchette is wonderful. She's just like casually, I'm gonna shoot you from, turn around and shoot you, and that's fine. She has a lot of fun things going for her. I like her. Now, Antonio, where is he? Here he is. Antonio Senator doesn't feel like he's actually shooting anything. Like, almost like he's reloading the gun. Somehow he feels less intimidating than some of the other gun wielders, but very much, again, kind of mobster vibes, which I'm here for. Yo, Karen Mendel. Look at her. Let's see, where's her? She's got a baton. Yeah, here she is. Look at that. Got that full police force stance. I'm digging this. I am digging Karen Mendel. Charles Holler. We've got our jazz musician. I appreciate, like, he's got the trumpet in one hand and then the very small gun in the other. You can't really see it. Like, even I'm in front of it and I'm barely noticing it. It's a little bit more obvious on the figurine because it pops out a bit more, but a lot of guns. Very, very interesting. Okay, this man looks like a creature. So this is Amir Cisse. And it looks like, so he's got the long beard, hair, you've got vines, you've got a sword here, our hand's normal here, and on here, It has that like disease where your nails just like where you just don't cut your nails and they just like grow forever, but it looks almost tentacly. That is a wild character design right there. Agnes, where are you, Agnes? Okay, Agnes Fortin, I love me I can't tell if she's like a widow or a nun, but she's definitely got some vibes going, but she is dual wielding swords and I am here for that. She seems intense and I love her. James Dalton, let's see. You are also reloading your gun, so it's gonna be a little more down. He's almost got like a posh, like I'm at a golf course kind of club. Like, look at those socks. Those socks are golf course socks. Okay, Steve Wainwright has the strangest pose, I think, out of all of them. So here, the hand here is actually reaching this way, but this one's reaching that way. I'm pretty confident this is still his figurine, though. Yeah, this is a very interesting pose. He looks almost like a baseball player, but he's throwing a knife, and I feel like that is not the position you want to throw a knife from, but maybe I'm wrong. Akira Saito, yep. We have the Japanese gentleman, with his katana sword, which I adore. I love, like, the serious look on his face. He's seen some stuff. Ryan Martell. Got our foot on something. It looks like a rock here, but that looks more like a canister. And he's got both hands on the gun. And, ooh, he's got gauges. Man's got gauges. It's pretty cool. I love some of these small details that they get on these characters, that they choose to give these characters. All right, then we have our violinist with a gun, Taylor Renner. She seems like kind of like kindly older lady, but definitely she's seen some shit and she's packing. This is really, I feel like there's a lot more guns than I anticipated in this set. Now we have Salvador Dali. Where did he go? I thought I saw him, but now I don't see him anymore. Wow, I've gone blind. Oh, here we go. Got Salvador Dali. That's a name that maybe some of you recognize. Death May Die has a funny thing of putting real people as characters. So I know we had Ernest Hemingway and Albert Einstein. We have fun here. Then we have Dorothy Parker. I also am going blind. I just saw, oh, there she is. I literally just saw her. She's also packing in her purse. She's very unassuming. So she looks kind of like the Dame, but then she has this really short pixie hair, which is, again, just like an interesting character choice. Isadora Roca is great. Look at that stance. Look at that coat. She is rocking, and she's just like, I got a knife, and I'm going to use it. She seems kind of like a spy-ish vibe. I like her a lot. Oh, fuck yes. Amelia Crow. This woman is my everything, apparently. Like, granny maid with a gun? What? Where does she work that would make her need this? And I love it. That's fabulous. And last but definitely not least, we have the classic Harry Houdini with his ball and chain alluding to his escapism. Yeah, that's all of our characters that come in this set. A lot of characters. I think it's over 20. Well, actually, we can count real quick. 6 times 4 plus 4 is a number. 28 characters in this box, which, you know, is a lot. Alright, so you go on top of you. You go like that. You go like... Let me make sure this one's in, because she didn't feel like she was fully in. that feels better. All right. Go ahead and slide this box back over here. Put this in here. It is a tight fit. Maybe I'm going to take out Nug and Yeb to help get these guys down. There we go. And then maybe I should have cut them out. There we go. All right, we will put our character cards there. We have our unknown monster cards. It looks like we can put our discovery card kind of there. And then we have these ones. So we have a slaughter track. I'm assuming that goes to someone's skill. I'm not exactly sure what these like little 4 squares are. I'm assuming they go together. We've got a couple like death by music skulls. This is actually pretty cool. I don't think you can see it very well, but you've got your 2 eyes that are connected as musical notes, which I'm assuming is going with our trumpet player. Okay, we have the lock symbol with a bunch of stuff next to it. I'm assuming that's Harry Houdini's, but these are just assumptions. We've got a blood token and a target token. Everyone has a gun, so that target could really get anybody. This one here is probably for our shaman. And then, again with the trumpet music. Maybe there was a second musician? Oh, maybe the death skull is for the violinist, actually. Because this is very clearly the trumpet player. And then we have our books. And lastly, a lovely skull. So these are all character specialty cards. Go ahead and put all of our characters back in there. Dear Lord, there's so many. And that is our Unknowable Box. So this is the new things from the Death May Die campaign, second Kickstarter. Fear of the Unknown. And it's quite a bit. It is quite a bit. I'm very excited to get playing. I'm excited to experience the new episodes, and there are so many more characters to play with. I'm very curious to see how everything is going to shake out then. Make sure to check out MakeCraftGame.com for more content, and have a good time gaming.